All right, let's pray. Lord, we thank you for this day, Lord, and for all your many blessings and for all you do for us. Lord, I pray for the mayor and council tonight, Lord, as they meet to discuss the business of the city. I pray, Lord, that they would seek your will for the decisions that they make. I pray, Lord, that you please guide and direct and be with them, protect them, and keep them safe. Lord, I pray for each family and person here tonight, Lord, each family represented. I pray, Lord, that you please bless them and be with them, Lord. And Lord, as we celebrate Thanksgiving this week, Lord, I pray we never forget all the many blessings you've bestowed upon us and everything that we're thankful for. In your name we pray. Amen.
Pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance. All right, Miss Susie, take a record of attendance. Here.
Present. Present.
Present.
Present. All right. First of all, we need approval to amend the agenda for November 24, 25 tonight to add resolution number 6.
Mayor, I make a motion that we amend the November the 24th, 2025 City Council agenda by adding resolution 2025-11-24-06.
We have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, now I need approval to approve the November 24, 25 agenda with the new item.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, I need approval for the November 6, 2025 regular city council minutes.
I'll make that motion.
Mr. Driver, need a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. There's no invoices, there's no proclamations. We have a request to address the council. We'll start with Roger Yerrigan about the Jeff State Conference Center. You'll just step over there and let everybody know your name, and we usually give about 3 to 5 minutes, if that's okay.
Okay, I might need to
All right.
add more, but
Okay.
not much more. Mayor Price and council, appreciate you letting me come today and speak to you. My name is Roger Yerrigan. I'm a citizen of Chilton County, a lifelong resident of this county, retiree from Alabama Power of 41 years. So, I've got a lot of time in this county, and I love this county. And what I wanted to come today and address the council and the mayor about was some information about the Clanton Conference and Performing Arts Center, which is located at Jeff State. So I wanted to mention what I learned. On October 6th, I'm a member of one of the local civic clubs, and we had our annual fundraiser out there, and some of y'all attended. It's the Taste of Chilton County. We raised $15,000, had a great event. Everything went wonderful. And at the end of the event, I started trying to help clean up, and I saw the event coordinator with Jeff State there late that evening, and so I went to her and I said, hey, everything worked good. I want to reserve this center next October. Can I put our club's name down? And she said, I'm sorry, Roger, you can't. I said, why? She said, because the conference center will not be here next year at this time in the way that it is right now. That center has 13,000 square feet currently, and it's going to be classrooms. She told me classrooms would be built in that conference center to take up 8,000 square feet and reduce the size of that conference center down to 5,000 square feet, which would make it unusable for several of the kinds of conferences that are currently being held out there. So that concerned me. Anyway, so when I talked to Christine, I went back and I started thinking about it, and I started calling some of the leaders of this county, people I know that I've lived with and friends and all for years. And I asked them if they knew what was going on out there. And I'm being honest, most of the leaders of this county did not know that center was being basically done away with. Now, when I say done away with, I'm talking about for many of the conferences that are held out there right now. And so everybody that a lot of people that I talked to just said that just doesn't make sense, Roger. It just does not make sense. Why? And so I started trying to call around and get information, and the information is hard to get. It was hard to find people that would talk to you about it. So as I went through that, I talked to some of the people that were using the conference center, and I'll just give you 4 examples. So there's one local business here in Chilton County that uses that conference center 4 weeks a year. They have quarterly meetings out there. They bring in 100 people from out of the state of Alabama, and they lodge in the county for 5 nights. They buy food, they get gas, and they do these things. And I just did a quick number, which was worth about $250,000 of income to the Chilton County. Now, I don't mean taxes and all, I just mean the money coming into the county from just that one conference. The Performing Arts Council has 2 large conferences out there every year. They're not going to be able to have conferences out there. The Beekeepers Association, a large conference, they had 2 conferences out there. They called to try to reserve the center, and they were told they could not have it next year because it wouldn't be there. They've moved now to Cullman. The representatives with the state of Alabama, I was talking to a person involved with that, and they were going to have conferences out there starting this year because now they would have hotel space. Prior to this year, we only had 163 hotel rooms basically in the area. With the new hotel opening down at 205, that gives us close to 400 rooms now, which would be possible for their 400-member group to meet there twice a year. And that's examples for about 4. And I know there are many, many others. Timing, you hear it sometimes that timing is everything. Well, timing is very poor right now for what's happening because we're getting new hotel rooms and the conference center is just growing. One of the businesses I talked to said you had to go 2 years in advance to get the dates you wanted to put down on the agenda. So I just think it's a poor decision that has been made. And I once knew a man who was very wise, and he made the comment. He said, "Keep the sunlight on it. Keep the sunlight on it." What I mean by that is, if you're about to decide to do something, or if you're making a decision, and you're afraid of that being put out to the public or being put in the newspaper, then you might want to consider you might not want to do that, because just keep the light on it. I don't believe the light has been shown very brightly on what's going on, because I understand that the planning for what they're doing out there has been going on for over a year.
2 years.
2 years almost, all right, since January, I think, of last year, almost 2 years. And very few people have been aware of the planning. And the business leaders and the businessmen, the businesswomen of this county they didn't know what was going on. They didn't know they were about to lose that facility. And I'm just trying to shed the light on it. I'm just trying to keep the light on it. I'm trying to let the people of this county and this city know what's about to happen. So what I'm asking the city council, so I'm about done, okay?
That's okay.
So what I'm asking the city council here is, can the city council approach Jeff State and request that the process that they're in right now be paused, that would allow the city and local leaders of this county to sit down and explore what options might be available to have a win-win situation to continue the education. Nobody that I've talked to is against education. We're all for education. And I know that there's some initiatives going on out there with the modern manufacturing, with the dual enrollment, and with the new tech center that's about to be built. And all that's great and wonderful things. But don't make a short-sighted decision to close that 13,000 square foot facility down to put classrooms in there to jumpstart something there's land available. The city of Clanton, most people might not know this, gave Jeff State 63 acres of land back in 2007 and 8 when they built that center. Also, the city of Clanton put $10 million into the building of that Clanton Conference and Performing Arts Center. And I think Jeff State put 6 in there, but still the city of Clanton put 10. So we've got an investment in that. So what can we do? What can we do? So I'm asking the city to help with that. I believe that would be possible. And how could we keep the education initiatives going and also keep the conference center open? Second thing, is there a document that can be found or obtained that would have been available at the time that this was all put in place by the leaders of the county back in 2007, 8, 9, whenever that process was. And also, I'm trying to represent, I've talked to a lot of businesses and people, and I'm representing them to come before y'all. And I'm saying, can you share that document that was signed and put in place back in 07 or 08 between the city of Clanton and Jeff State campus? I believe there was a document, and I'm asking y'all to see if you could find it and provide that so that we could review that, or that would be out to the open for the public, and can I get a copy of it? That would be the second request. And then, could the city do something like perform an economic impact study of closing that facility? Look at what has gone on for the last, just use the last 2 or 3 years, and get somebody to do a quick calculation based on people coming into this county and using that facility and the economics of that brings into the county.
I can respond to, is that good? I was
Yes,
gonna
sir.
respond to you.
Well, yes, sir. Go right ahead.
Good. You can have a seat if you want to,
Okay.
that'd be
All
fine.
right. Can I say one more thing?
Yes, sir, yes,
Uh,
sir.
What are the city's plans to address the possible loss of this center if this can't be paused? And is there any partnership that could be formed with Jeff State that might help this thing continue on? So thank you for letting me come and speak to that.
Yes, sir.
And I'm friends with Santa Claus, so whatever y'all
Yeah,
do, be sure Santa is watching.
Okay, I'll just address, I'll give you my understanding. I've told the way it is. Well, let me start over. There's 2 projects going on out there. Number one is Corey, the superintendent. He has Innovation Center, huge building with grant money, et cetera. That project, he was getting, Board of Education was deeded 10 acres for him to build that right there on Jeff State. Basically, it started in January of 2024. A lot of meetings and things. And so when I got put into office, me and Corey met, and he was telling me about this, and that's when we found out just 2 or 3 weeks ago that space was going to be reduced. And so Jeff State, modern manufacturing is the key word. There is plenty of money for modern manufacturing, and that's where we use Philip example. He needs HVAC workers, and so they can train those workers at this innovation center to do that job. So when they graduate, they go right to work, and they're using that for automobile, because we got a lot of automobile parts and stuff, and so they are going to use that center to teach them the job that they need to go work out at those auto plants out there. So they'll be able to graduate high school and go right into a paying job. Even somebody wants to do medicine, they can get their LPN as a high school graduate and go ahead and start making that money for that. So talking with Corey, he and I believe Corey 100%, he didn't realize that the space reduction was coming with that. Mayor Mims sat in all those meetings for at least up to about the Thursday before the election, and I didn't know that these guys on the other council didn't know. I talked with Corey about it, and basically, he was a little surprised, and so then I started calling some of the other Mary Mel and the rest, and they didn't really know anything about it either. So I don't think it was anything under the table. I don't think it was anything secret. I think it was just, unfortunately, a city leader who did not communicate that to his council. And so after we had our work session on Thursday, one of the council members requested to talk to Corey. So I got Corey over here this morning at about 10 o'clock, and we spent an hour with him going over the same thing. It's grants. He's separate from that project. Jeff State decided to put modern manufacturing inside that center, where they'll bring in a car, and students will take that thing completely apart and put that thing completely back together, those kind of items. They decided to make the big storage shed a welding program. And then the other part that reduces space, I think it's just a lab, like a automotive type lab. So they are, Keith Brown is a great individual. He's very humble. He answers all my questions. I've been communicating Mr. Roger back and forth what I had with him. I've emailed him, and we had one short conversation. And so in the end, they're bidding this project December 11th. And our goal on this city council is to do absolutely nothing to interfere with the innovation center that's being built and being bid on December 11th, which is superintendent's project that he's got all this grant money for and everything. So no, nothing inside. Corey and the Board of Education have nothing inside there. They can utilize what's inside there, but that's not part of their grant, their stuff. And so we want to do absolutely zero damage to that by trying to fix what we're trying to fix. So we're just, decided today that we would send an email to maybe meet with Keith Brown again and just see if if it's even possible for an alternative. It's going to take 16 months to build the innovation center. So is it possible, the question will be, to do the same project outside of the exhibition center on any piece of property they could put it on and still keep the timeline consistent with the innovation center? Because as Corey said today, his classes don't work without the modern manufacturing, and the grants could become an issue. So those have to be synchronized. And so, yeah, it's late. It's late. November 3rd, November 4th, whenever it was late. And so, sounding the alarm, I don't think anybody's being respectable toward education. I don't blame Keith Brown. I don't blame Corey. I don't blame the county. I blame a lack of communication between one person and his city council. And if anybody on the previous knew anything about it, let me know. But I think I'm speaking for everybody. So that's where we've got it at. We want to fix it, but zero damage to the whole process. Zero damage. And so we've talked to Corey, and he, alternatives later are, hey, let's do a joint project between the city and the Board of Education, see if we can, and maybe the county, and build us a new one. Well, we don't want to build it twice. We got one. It was really 15 million after interest. So 60 acres, 15 million, and, but I'm an education guy. I'm also every person matters guy, and I do not want one single person or student miss out on something because we messed it up here late. It was planned for 2 years, and it's really hard to stick your foot in the elevator door when you know it's going to crush it. So we've got to be real careful with it, and we're doing everything we can. If they bid that, and it'll be one of the best things our students will have in the state probably. If they do that, we'll be looking at Alan Williams and Corey Clements and me to kind of, in this council, try to figure out a solution to how we can get more space back. There's a possibility. Also, we noted that if the Board of Education can come up with some more land out there, that it could be deconstructed in the future, because they're just putting walls up in between that. It could possibly be deconstructed. I got Alan Payton to check on that with the architects. And so what they're doing inside, are they going to build it twice? I don't know. I doubt it. But you never know, so that's an option. So those are where we are with it. That's about as transparent as you're going to get. Yes, sir. And there is the document. Yeah. Yeah, and it. Right. But the problem is they are synchronized. Yeah, synchronized. So there is. Yeah. Yeah, but to be clear, we're Keith Brown fans, we're Corey Clements fans, and always will be, because he's been super, they've both been transparent about it. So we just, the lack of communication is going to burn us, but go from there. All right. Next up, we have Ralph Bingham from the Grace of God Ministries. Would like to speak on the Jeff State.
Thank you, Mayor, and
Yes, sir.
Council for allowing me this time. I'm Ralph Bingham, founder and director of Through the Grace of God Ministries, and located just right across the railroad tracks there. We've been there since the year 2000. Prior to COVID, 2022, Through the Grace of God Ministries had the privilege to serve over 1 million meals, hot, healthy meals, and food boxes to those in need in our community. So grateful that we had that opportunity. During COVID, we lost the financial support and the volunteer support that it needed to run it, so we decided to shut the kitchen down. But because of the demands that we've had recently, due to food stamp shortages and just on and on, it's been near daily we've had people ask us to open our kitchen back up. So we've decided to do so. It's part of our church ministry. But we just wanted to let the city know what we're planning on doing, where we can provide hot, healthy meals Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., every Thursday and Friday evening between 5 and 6 p.m. That's our goal and our plans. Our plans to be open in the next 3 to 4 weeks, no later than January 1st. My request is that the city of Clanton, our local businesses, churches, just on and on will get behind us and support us as we continue to try to serve the needs of our community. I brought Scott Toole with me, and I believe most of y'all, if y'all would, I do have some packets here if y'all would like to have one.
Yes, sir. We want to have them.
Thank you for letting me speak to City Council and Mayor. I'm here as just a volunteer from Through the Grace of God Ministries. I don't have a position there. I don't hold any authority or power, but I have ministered there since about 2015. And the reason I'm here tonight is just to speak to the validity of the ministry. I've seen over and over, night after night, week after week, people come through the grace of God and receive help. I was very proud of our community through this food crisis that we've had recently. The response to support those who are most vulnerable among us. And it was interesting to see that many of the agencies were referring people to Through the Grace of God Ministries, and no one that was referred to that ministry went away empty-handed. And I think that's a very commendable for Through the Grace of God Ministries. As I said, I've been there as a volunteer, preaching, delivering meals. I'm on the radio show with Brother Ralph on Saturdays at 8 o'clock, and the ministry survived COVID. It was really, the kitchen area was a tremendous part of offering hot meals cooked for our people who were in need in our community. There's very few opportunities for the needy here to be fed a hot meal, and that was one of them. And so we're just here tonight to ask everyone to consider helping out the ministry. I just want to attest also to Brother Ralph's hard work, his heart for the people of this county. We both love Chilton County and its people so much. And so we just come to you to request consideration for the ministry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, we're up next to a public hearing. I'll entertain a motion to recess the November 24th, 25 City Council meeting for the purpose of holding a public hearing.
Move to recess the November 24th, 2025 City Council meeting for the purpose of a public hearing.
You have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, the public hearing is now in session to consider an amendment to the City of Clanton zone district boundaries, changing the present zoning B1 Central Business District to R1 Single Family Residential District for property located at 203 8th Street North and 02nd Avenue North, PIN 11260. Parcel number 14110735440202.001 and PIN 11259, parcel 141173444202.000. For applicant Sonia Bertoloni. Bene Vici LLC, is that right? Good. I've asked for those are here to speak in favor of this. To please come forward. Anybody in favor? All right. Anybody speaking against the rezoning here? Come forward and speak. State your name and where you live and you can still talk if you want to talk about it. Okay. We'll just move on to number 2. Public hearing now is now in session to consider an amendment to the City of Clanton zone district boundaries, changing the present zoning from R2 single family, 2-family residential district to R3 multifamily residential district for property located at 013th Street North, PIN number 10953, parcel number 141107353001.002 for property owners and applicants JL Real Estate LLC, Jason Kleckler. Anybody here to speak in favor of that? It's up to you if you want to say anything about it, or you don't have to. Good. Yes, sir. That's good. All right. And you're Jason. All right, good. Anybody speaking against? 3 or 4? All right. Y'all have a representative, or anybody want to do it themselves? Just get you state your name and address for the record.
Charles Trawick, side on 4th Avenue. I would like to ask that this zoning request be denied. This property not blend well with the existing community. Greatly increase traffic flow. Traffic in that area is now. From property I own, I can observe children playing in the street. Already cars parking parallel, virtually making it a one-lane, one-way street. Some church, maybe funeral, makes access to property area hard, blocking some driveways. I've tried to get into my property, driveways blocked. So, in addition to this project, greatly increase and impact traffic. And just this property is just out of place in this community.
Thank you. Anyone else? Got up the first time. You got to come on up and do it again now. State your name and address.
Al Rimple, 1110 Highland Avenue. I'm here to reject against them building apartments. I keep the grass cut from the other property the center owned and sold. I keep it cut, and the ditch where the water flows. You know, we have trouble with water. And it's just a bad place, like that man said. About the traffic, funeral home there. There's 2 houses. Come around the curb, I'm the second house on the left. And I just reject this being built. Just not enough property. And I noticed surveyors has done put stakes up next to Shane's driveway. Like they're going to cut all the trees. And I didn't think you could cut the trees on the land line. And I'm just against it. And like he said about kids playing and everything, it's just a bad place to build. And water trouble they gonna have. That's all I got to say.
Yes, sir. Thank you. The public hearing is now in session, excuse me, to consider the annexation of property located. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. I jumped up. Name and address.
I'm Jamie Galt, and I am at 904 7th Avenue North. And I know they keep saying, as kids, I'm a mom of 3. Mine frequently were outside playing in the yard, and it's already, I can't tell you how many times people will come flying around that corner. And there's been times I'm like, well, thank God we weren't out there, because one of my kids would have very well been gone, or one of my pets. So I do object to the location of making apartments there. I don't think it would be a safe place for our kids and for our pets. So I object.
Thank you.
My name is Charlie Schoenvogel. I live at 407 8th Street North. I'm objecting this proposal for this piece of property for a couple of reasons. One is traffic, of course. The other is that, like my previous speakers have said, there are numerous children that play out through there. And we already have a traffic issue. For the first time this past week, I saw a Chilton, a Clanton police officer write a ticket there on 5th Avenue for the first time in a long time. The project, I've not seen any paperwork on it, any drawings or anything, and I'm sure Mr. Gentleman in charge that wants to build it has those. But we'd like to, as a neighborhood, have another meeting before there's any vote on this at all by the city commission, simply because 5 o'clock, we had about 10 or 12 people that I spoke to on the phone today that said they would try to be here today that live in our subdivision. They were unable to attend because of the 5 o'clock thing. You know, we could postpone this out to January the 19th or 26th after the holidays, give us time to get everybody together to show the commission, the council, how much force is behind not doing this project, because it is not a wanted project in our subdivision. We know it'll increase traffic. Decrease property values. It's just not a good idea for our subdivision. It's not a good fit. I understand that he's made an investment in the property, but he knew it was R2 when he bought it. So that's the way that I look at it. So if this is postponed till after the first of the year, the 19th is a Monday, the 26th is a Monday, that'll give us time to get our group together and come here physically to address it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. We'll go back to the favors. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you. I understand you all's concerned about the traffic, but I don't know completely understand what I'm doing. I'm not building apartment complexes like Pete, like duplex. Is R2, which allows those duplexes to be there. Changing it to R3 simply allows me to do it without dividing the property into different parcels. So duplexes are allowed on an R2 anyway. It just keeps me from having to get an engineer and a survey to get on individual lots. I can leave the land all in one lot. I have to provide the sewage and the water. All of those things will be me. The developers. And,
Sir,
I did have a surveyor go and mark the corners for me.
go ahead. You just finish it up. And we'll
I was just gonna say, the lines are marked, the corners are marked right now, just to show me where the actual property lines are.
What we'll do is not, this is just the first reading of this and not even a vote, you know, and so it would be awesome if y'all two could get together.
Well, now, my understanding that it was gonna be voted tonight, because this went before the Planning and Zoning Commission 2 months ago, and it was just supposed to come here for approval from my understanding. Did I understand that incorrectly?
Yeah, yes, sir. We have the first reading.
It's first reading, and then it has to be 2 meetings, so it'll be voted on at our next the first reading will be tonight.
We're
And
just
then the
reading.
vote will come at our next council, December the 8th.
So we gotta go into the next meeting anyway.
Yes, sir. It's just a reading, just to let everybody know what's going on. You can,
Okay. Well, I am more than happy to speak to any of you, and I do have a layout plan of what I intend to do. If it is not allowed to, but right now I want to build 8 units, which have 2 apartments. If we don't get the rezoning,
yeah,
I can only.
yeah, that'd be good. But if y'all can work that out. Yes, sir. For or against? All right. State your name and address.
Michael O'Neill, 600 8th Street. I just found out about this minutes ago.
And there's, like I say, there's some time to work it out. This is the first reading, but go ahead.
Okay. Chief of Police, I have been complaining about the traffic on 8th. And in all honesty, I didn't know what traffic was going to be like on Street North. I wouldn't. I like this community. I like my neighbors right over there. But I have nearly been hit by cars 6 times from trying to mow the grass, free my trash cart, etc. In all honesty, not. So we don't need any more traffic. Less. Have a problem with speed? Honestly, I've asked the chief first times. I've got a speed limit sign in front of my house that says 25. I'm still trying to figure out its maximum.
All right. But thank you. Thank you for your statement. Anybody else? Skip over anybody this time. All right. The public hearing is now in session to consider the annexation of property located at, have that address?
Yes, sir. 1491 County Road 28.
1491 County Road 28. Into the Clanton city limits. Anybody speaking in favor? Come ahead.
No, we're just, I'm Mary Porter, by the way. This is my parents', I'll tear up, I'm sorry. This is my parents' land. It's been sitting empty for 10 years since they passed away. And we're just trying to get into limits. We just think it's time to do it. So that's all they just do. We just try to
Yes, ma'am.
do what's right.
That's right. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Anybody else for? Anybody against? All right. There being no further discussions, I'll call the November 24th, 25 City Council meeting back to order. No old business, new business. I need a motion to approve Resolution 2025-11-2401 for consideration to authorize a pole attachment agreement with Alabama Power for holiday decorations.
Make a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. I need a motion for Resolution 2025-11-2402 for consideration to designate certain city officials to have the authority to execute financial documents on behalf of the city of Clanton.
Move to approve Resolution 2025-11-24-02.
Any seconds?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Need a motion for resolution 2025-11-2403 for consideration to accept the resignation of Whitney Barlow from the Clanton Industrial Development Board.
I'll make a motion.
Need a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? I need a motion for resolution 2025-11-2404 for consideration to repeal and replace resolution 2025-11-0602, which appointed members of the City of Clanton Industrial Development Board and set terms of office.
So move.
Have a second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Need a motion for resolution 2025-11-2405 for consideration to amend certain fiscal year 2026 departmental budgets.
Move to approve resolution 2025-11-24-05.
Have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Need a motion for resolution 2025-11-2406 for consideration to terminate an economic development consulting agreement between the City of Clanton and Scott Walls.
So move.
Need a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, we have ordinance number 2025/22, an amendment to the City of Clanton zone district boundaries, changing the present zoning. Present zoning is B1 Central Business District to R1 Single Family Residential District for property located at 203 8th Street and 0 2nd Avenue North, in 11260, parcel 14110735-402-020.001 and PIN number 11259, parcel number 14110735-402-020.000 for owner applicant Sonia Bertoloni. Vici. It's a first reading.
Ordinance number 2025-22, an ordinance of the City of Clanton, provided that the Code of Ordinance, City of Clanton, Alabama, be amended by adding a section to be numbered 2025-22, providing the following amendment to the zoning ordinance. Be ordained by the City Council of the City of Clanton, Alabama as follows. Section 1, the rezoning of property located at 203 8th Street North, in number 11260, parcel number 14-1-07-3-4-402-020.001 and 0 2nd Avenue North, in number 11259, parcel number 14-11-402-020.000 within the corporate limits of Clanton, Alabama, changing the present zoning B1 Central Business District to R1 Single Family Residential District. Property owner applicant Sonia Bertoloni. Section 2. Any ordinance or resolution in conflict herewith is repealed as the effective date of this ordinance. Section 3. This ordinance shall become effective upon its passing and publication or posting as required by law. Ordinance number Ordinance 25-22 is available upon review during normal business hours in the city clerk's office and will likely be considered at a future city council meeting.
Billy, you want to read the next? Okay. Next, okay. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, he's got it. Next is ordinance 2025-23. Elijah Day.
Ordinance number 25-23, ordinance of the City of Clanton, provided that the Code of Ordinance, City of Clanton, Alabama, be amended by adding a section to be numbered 2025-20, providing the following amendment to the zoning ordinance. Be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Clanton, Alabama as follows. Section 1, the zoning of property located at 013th Street North, in number 10953, partial number 14-11-07-35-3-001-001.002. Corporate limits of Clanton, Alabama, changing the present zoning R2 single family / two-family residential district to R3 multifamily residential district. Property owner and applicant J&L Real Estate LLC, Mason Kleckler. Section 3. Any ordinance or resolution conflict herewith is repealed as of this effective date of this ordinance. Section 3. This ordinance should become effective upon its passing and publication or posting as required by law. Ordinance number 25-23 is available for review during normal business hours in the city clerk's office and will likely be considered at a future city council.
Got it. Next up is ordinance number 2025-24 to consider extending the corporate limits of the city of Clanton, Alabama by annexing property at 1491 County Road 28. Mary Sue Mims Porter.
Ordinance number 2025-24. Ordinance to extend the corporate limits of the city of Clanton, Alabama. Whereas on the 22nd date of October 2025, Mary Sue Mims Porter, being the owner of all real property, to file with the city clerk treasurer, asking that the limit tract of partial of land to be annexed to the and to become part of the city of Clanton, Alabama. Whereas said property did contain the signatures of all owners of the described territory and a map of said property showing its relationship to the corporate city limits of Clanton, Alabama. And whereas the government body did deem that it is in public's interest that said property to be annexed to the city of Clanton, and it did future determine that all legal requirements for annexing said real property has been met. Section 11-42-20 through 1142-24 Code of Alabama 1975 as amended. Therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Clanton as follows. Section 1. City Council of the City of Clanton finds and declares all legislative bodies of the City of Clanton that it is in the best interest of the citizens of the City of Clanton and said citizens of the effective area to bring the territory described in Section 2 of this ordinance into the city limits of Clanton. Section 2. Boundary lines of the City of Clanton, Alabama to be and same are hereby altered and reassigned so that it includes all territory hereto before by the corporate city limits of the City of Clanton, and in addition, therefore, to the following description, to within. Partial number 8376. I'm sorry, PIN number 8376. Partial number 14-10-0-9-32-001-083.000. Acreage, approximately 2 acres.
I got that. Did everybody write that down? Okay, we're just down to.
I'm sorry, Mayor. Ordinance 25-24 is available upon review during normal business hours in the city clerk's office and will likely be considered at a future city council.
That's all right. And then that will be voted on the next council meeting, you said?
Yeah. Yes.
All right, maybe, yeah, y'all could talk a little bit, make sure we're all on the same page there. Any other council comments or public comments?
That's just 2 acres on that last.
Police, good. Fire, all right. Stanley? All right. The Clanton Christmas Parade and tree lighting will be held Friday, December the 5th. The parade will begin at 5 and the Christmas tree lighting at 7 p.m. Can I have a motion to adjourn? Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed?